New York City on a partly cloudy November Saturday afternoon, and the nation's biggest city is host to the biggest college football game of the day. 8 miles from Manhattan, at one of American sports' legendary venues, Yankee Stadium. Long a part of Notre Dame's one-of-a-kind football history, a new generation of the famed Subway alumni are here to see their Irish. And just like those golden days, the stakes are high. Notre Dame, 2 wins from an undefeated season, with their starting quarterback returning to the lineup today. The opponent feels right at home in New York. As the Orange visit the Big Apple, Syracuse looks to continue their dramatic turnaround season. Couldn't ask for a more familiar or a better setting. Number 3 Notre Dame, number 12 Syracuse at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. And under the famed facade tucked just inside the fair side of the foul pole, we welcome you to Notre Dame football on NBC. You know the deal with the Irish, a perfect 10-4-10 this year, 2 wins from the college football playoff, and they get Ian Book, their quarterback, back after missing last week with a rib injury. They may need him because they may need to score points. Syracuse scores an appropriate 44 points a game. Their offense is humming. It might be one of the tougher challenges for the Notre Dame defense, in part because Eric Dungey, the quarterback, has led a turnaround season that nobody saw coming. The Orange, the highest they've been in the poll in some 2 decades. Both these teams, Syracuse and Notre Dame, have played in the annual bowl game here, the Pinstripe Bowl, so they are familiar with the setting. The last 2 times they've met, it's been in the metro area on the other side of the Hudson in New Jersey. They've played at MetLife Stadium. Those were Syracuse home games. This is an Irish home game. It's a predominant Notre Dame crowd, and here come the Pinstriped Irish. What a cool shot. So odd for Brian Kelly. He's a lifelong Red Sox fan, but he's very happy to be part of the home team here at Yankee Stadium today, and he's thrilled to have Ian Book back at quarterback, undefeated in his first 7 starts, even though only 2 of them have come in South Bend. It's a 250-mile drive from the Carrier Dome in Syracuse to Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Some of their fans have made it, but they are the road team today, as the Syracuse Orange gets set to come out of the third base visitors dugout here at Yankee Stadium. And the Orange take the field. Incredible, improbable turnaround season. 4 wins each of the first 2 years for Dino Babers. 8-2, 12th in the nation. His super fast offense run by senior Eric Dungey, who holds or shares 16 Syracuse records. The Heisman Trophy winner Doug Flutie at this great setting here. Look at our spot down the right field line at Yankee Stadium. Doug, welcome to Yankee Stadium. What do you sense about this place as you were on the field before?
It's pretty cool walking in. I mean, my head's on a swivel. I looked at every picture, read every plaque. We went to Monument
Park over there.
Monument Park. I'm getting a picture with Babe Ruth over there. I threw a baseball in Yankee Stadium. Pretty cool.
It's a special setting for the players. The football game is important, and Ian Book being back for Notre Dame, very significant. What does it do to the Irish offense?
It just makes him more efficient. You know, he's so accurate with the football, balls out on time, makes good decisions. He's more athletic than people realize. He is a little banged up. The whole playbook is going to be open for him, but it'll be interesting to see if he's running the football a lot today.
Tell everybody about the Syracuse offense. 44 points a game. Dungey runs it. What do you see when you see it?
He's accurate with the football, but he's a competitor. He runs hard. He's physical. The word that gets tossed around is fearless all the time, and his teammates love him for him. He's got a lot of weapons, over 10,000 career yards from scrimmage, and he's a winner.
Eric Dungey and the Syracuse team played at Clemson earlier in the season. They lost by 4, but they opened eyes in that game that they could hang with some of the best teams in the country. After that, they lost to Pittsburgh, have not lost since. They've won 4 in a row. The Irish haven't lost all year, including the toss. They won the toss and will receive. Sterling Hofricker is part of an outstanding special teams unit for Syracuse that Brian Kelly alluded to earlier. And he will send it on this 47-degree afternoon with the wind moving left to right as you watch. Michael Young back deep to receive for the Irish without the golden helmets, which looks so odd, but it's a special uniform for a special day. Best game of the day, Yankee Stadium. Doesn't get any better than and off we go from the South Bronx. It'll be Chris Finke yard deep, and he was back with Young. He'll take it, and the Irish will take it out of the 25-yard line. They have run it effectively with Dexter Williams. His speed has been a difference maker in the backfield, off a career-high 202 yards against Florida State. When Notre Dame's best offensive lineman, Alex Bars, was injured, there was concern. Aaron Banks, a sophomore, has moved in at guard. He's been fantastic next to Sam Mustapha. They support Ian Book, the quarterback who returns to the Irish lineup as they start at their own 25 to get things going. And on first down, Book out of his hands right away to Miles Boykin with the catch and a gain of about 10. Book returns. He's going to be a yard shy of the first down on that throw, but so many of his accurate passes move the chains for the Irish. Doug leading the country in completion percentage.
It's like a layup for him. If you have off coverage and the timing of the throw is on time, he's flawless.
People move the ball in this Syracuse defense. They force a lot of turnovers. Book gets the first down to Alize Mack, tackled by Ryan Guthrie, the active middle linebacker for the Orange. Mack coming off a 2-touchdown game. Guthrie has been an on-field, every play quarterback of the Syracuse defense this year. First and 10 from the 36. It is Book with time. He'll escape and run and duck out of bounds quickly. I'm sure Dougie's going to avoid taking any hits in the running game if possible today.
Yeah, any unnecessary hits he will avoid, get down, get out of bounds. But he is an athlete. He'll extend plays with his feet. But it's all those little timing throws, and the short passing game is so efficient. As a play caller, you're not afraid to throw the ball on early downs because he's going to keep you in good down and distance.
The Syracuse defense that gives up a lot of yards. They are 97th out of the 129 teams in the country. Second and 13. Book's first look wasn't there. He is pressured and completes it. Good job to find the open receiver in Alize Mack. Andre Cisco made the tackle for the Orange. We'll have third and about 7 coming up.
It's one of the first times I've actually seen Book get a little bit fooled. They lined up in press coverage. He didn't think the hitch was going to be there, but the corner bailed, and he held on the ball a little bit, moved around, still finds a completion.
You mentioned Notre Dame home game. Syracuse an allotment of 5,000 tickets, most of them down this end behind the Notre Dame offense. You'll be hearing them during the afternoon, plus the others that bought tickets on their own. Third and 7. And Book fires, broken up. Coverage by Christopher Frederick. Knocks it away. So after a couple of first downs, the Irish will be forced to punt.
Great job by Frederick. Press one-on-one coverage all over the field. Stays right on him, gets a right arm in there to knock it down. That's getting your hands on the receiver and not being afraid of the guy running by you. Trust your own speed. Play him tough. Knows where the sticks are. Great defensive play.
Tyler Newsome back to kick it away for the Irish. Newsome 13th in the country in punting average. Syracuse a good special teams group, and Akeem Johnson back for the fair catch, and they'll make it out to the 16-yard line. The senior Eric Dungey and the Orange. Fast-paced offense on the field at Yankee Stadium. When do you come back? Yankee Stadium in the Bronx just sounds like a special place, and it is. Football's so much a part of the history of this stadium as well. Dungey, the Orange offense are off, and Dungey's on the run to the 22-yard line to pick up a 5 on first down. For Eric Dungey, the senior from Lake Oswego, Oregon, is just south of Portland. He's 2,500 miles from home and playing good. That pass deflected by Khalid Kareem and is incomplete. Good job by the Irish junior defensive end to take away, Doug, one of those passes important to this offense.
Great job at just getting upfield and getting the ball in the passing lane. That was darn close to being a lateral.
Cody Conway, the tackle, did not hit him and gave Kareem a free chance to get in there and use his athleticism.
I'm surprised that more people don't try to cut those throws off, whether it's in a strong safety position or an outside linebacker position, to try to get in that passing lane and have an opportunity to tip the ball like that. And that might have been a backwards pass.
And choose not to look at it. 3rd and 6. Notre Dame brings pressure, and Dungey's pass is incomplete. Had to get rid of it quick, looking for Sean Riley, his leading receiver over the middle. And the Orange go 3 and out to open the game, and Notre Dame continues its good starts on defense to begin games this year.
Little zone blitz, bringing it from one side, dropping the nose guard out. Jerry Tillery got in the passing lane. Little confused, unsure of what he's seeing on that blitz. You're bringing it from one side and dropping people out.
Chris Fink back. Sterling Hofricker has been a very good kicker this year for the Orange, kicking with the wind and a good boot here. Fink doesn't really get away. And it just stops there in the wind at the 45-yard line, and the Irish will take over there. Just 34 yards on the kick, so not as good as at first look for Hofrichter. Short field for the Irish offense. Here's the Orange defense trying to stop them. Strength is up front. Holman and Robinson, the top sack duo in the ACC. Kylan Whitner, very similar to Drew Tranquil of the Irish, lauded for his off-field work. A former DB who's become a very good linebacker. We already heard from Andre Cisco, the true freshman standout this season. 5 interceptions. Mentioned Syracuse, those 25 turnovers. Rare we've seen 3rd and long this season for the Irish on back-to-back drives. The underneath route for Jones is going to get there on the first down. Terrific play call by Chip Long. He needed 16 and gets 19 with the back, Tony Jones Jr.
Here comes Robinson off the edge with pressure, just short of getting there, and it is a great play design. It's like a screen, downfield screen, receivers crisscross blocking, beautifully executed against a soft zone.
Mack timing the block apparently just right. Book for the 42, looking deep, takes a shot in the middle. Chase Claypool to the 15-yard line. First down for the Irish in front of Andre Cisco. This is when Notre Dame loves to go quick.
Again, it's a zone coverage. You're clearing off the top of the coverage, and then Claypool comes all the way across. You see Fink clearing out the safety. It's the play action and the time to throw that route.
From the 15, Dexter Williams doesn't keep it. Book does. He's still alive to throw. He's got Boykin to the 8-yard line. Very last-second decision by Book. Turns into a gain. They're going to mark him out of bounds at the 10. Maybe about 5 on the pickup.
Well, he makes the right decision. He pulls it, but Robinson's so quick. He reacts, and now Book has to get rid of it to the outside, just like playing basketball on grass.
Second and 4. Book over the middle. Complete. Williams to the end zone. He is in for the Notre Dame touchdown. Running backs in the passing game. The key for the Irish on this scoring drive.
He just sticks his man and runs a little angle route underneath, and then fights his tail off to get into the end zone. Nice timing on the throw. Good route. It was there. You see the ball getting across the goal line. The stick move on the angle route.
All-time Irish leading point scorer Justin Yoon adds the extra point. It was the 3rd and 15 pickup by Tony Jones Jr. that set the table for Dexter Williams. And the touchdown. Irish drive in 6 plays, 55 yards, and score first at Yankee Stadium. So many years Notre Dame was the national program, and in New York, growing up in New York, you'd see Notre Dame replay on Sundays. So many Irish fans. There were a ton of them down on the plaza this morning for the Today Show, walking through St. Patrick's Cathedral. Notre Dame very much at home here in New York City. A short kickoff. Sean Riley, a great returner, will get it at the 11, and Riley works his way out to the 33-yard line. That's where this second Syracuse drive will start. Told you they'd go fast, and that guy Riley, despite his listed size, 5'8", 170, he's neither, leads the team with 54 catches. Up front, interesting story, Coda Martin, Texas A&M transfer. He's married to the head coach, Dino Babers' daughter. So the head coach is also his father-in-law. He lives in their basement, and he protects the quarterback. He's got a lot of responsibility when it comes to the Babers household, but we told you about Dungey, a 4-year starter. This is 36th start. He's healthy this year, and he's closing in, see all those career numbers, on 11,000 total yards of offense. Drive 2, play 1, slot shot, intercepted. Didn't see Elliott. Jalen Elliott with a big pick at the 30. Elliott picking up blockers at the 15-yard line. Interception number 4 for the junior safety for the Irish.
He's up in the corner of your screen up this way. Jalen Elliott is going to be covering the seam route, but he sits and breaks on it hard coming downhill. Dungey looked the safety off, thought that Elliott was dropping deep. Instead, he squatted on the throw, broke hard on it, steps under with a big hit. He had a great week last week, solidifying the nickel position.
You could see it with his helmet. Watch where his eyes went. He baited Dungey and steps in there. And a golden opportunity for the Irish at the 15. First and 15, and the give inside. Williams will get 3.5 yards, just shy of the 16-yard line for Dexter. I think you know the Dexter Williams story if you've been watching the Irish all year. Suspended the first 4 games, jumps back in the lineup with a bang, 161 yards against Stanford. He's been over 104 times, including 202 last Saturday night against Florida State. Gives him a home run hitter in the backfield. Pressure off the corner. Book fires complete to Boykin. Stays in bounds. A marker at the 9. We'll have third and about 4 coming up. Evan Foster, the big hitter, out of the Orange secondary with the tackle.
Great reaction to a corner blitz, and this is difficult to see on your blind side. Coming off that edge, you read the safety going across. He's off coverage, so you take the quick throw in front of him. That's a tough read. That's a tough thing to see, and a nice pickup on the outside.
Shaim Cullen got a free shot at Book coming back off the rib injury. Officially 3rd and 3. And they'll throw. Book to Williams, incomplete. That would have been a big connection there, trying to take a 2-touchdown lead. Let's see if the Irish go for a field goal here to make it 10. Yes, they will. Field goal attempts coming.
He gets out on the edge. Williams does have a step, but Book doesn't have the time to really make an accurate throw there. Even if he's off balance, Ian Book usually makes a real accurate throw there, just a little out of reach.
Justin Yoon is 3 shy of Kyle Brings' all-time record for field goals in a Notre Dame career. He has so many other Notre Dame records, including most points scored. Out of the hold of Nolan Henry. And the snap of John Shannon, which wasn't great, but Henry did a good job. And Ian Book now has 350 points in his Notre Dame career. Turnover turns into a field goal. 10-0 Irish. Little assist on the 3 by Nolan Henry. The backup quarterback got it down. City Rock, among the tall buildings in the city, not too far away. So great to be in New York as the holiday season approaches. Strong kick by Justin Yoon into the wind. No return. The TV producer nightmare Syracuse offense. They get to the line like they're going to go, and then they wait 15 seconds. Look it and adjust it. And usually the adjustments work pretty well. Here is Neal pushing the pile close to the 44-yard line to pick up a half dozen on first down.
Well, what happens is there's no perimeter run support. They're all out there by the numbers playing patty cake saying, hi, how you do? They don't have to throw a block because they're going north-south with the run.
Right back out of that same formation this time. Dungey will throw, and he'll complete it to Jamal Custis, the tall receiver at the 46-yard line. And the Orange to the Irish side for the first time. Clark Lee, sensational years, the defensive coordinator for Notre Dame. Clark was the coach of the linebackers on that Syracuse staff with Scott Schaefer, the staff that was let go before Dino Babers and company came in 3 years ago. So this game very personal for Clark. Anytime somebody says it's time to move on, you want to show them no. Design run here with Dungey. Interesting wrinkle to that play. He'll gain 4 to the 42, and the Irish will change on the fly.
Syracuse has run this double stack wide formation to open up the middle of the field and get the run support out of there. And consecutive running plays, everything's been positive.
Dungey's limping a little after that play is hurt, and he will go down, and they'll come check on him. So Eric Dungey's career
officials timeout for an injured player
has included so many injuries. He has not been able to finish the season the last couple of years. Something bothered him in that left lower back area. Tweaked and turned, oft injured these first 3 years, and the athletic training staff of the Orange look at their senior quarterback. Well, that is a very disappointing shot to see, not just for Syracuse fans, but college football fans. Eric Dungey is one of the toughest players that you've seen, taking so many hits over the years. And what looked like a somewhat innocuous play where you don't see anything obvious. He was down for a couple of seconds, and you see in real time, and then gets up and just felt so much pain there. I said left, I meant to say right side. He starts to grab there, and he goes down and was on the ground being looked at by Tim Pike and the rest of the Syracuse medical athletic training staff throughout the timeout. Now is slowly being walked back to the Orange locker room. So Tommy DeVito from Cedar Grove, New Jersey, redshirt freshman, comes in. He can throw it. He's going to take a shot right away. Downfield, it is. Caught for the touchdown and dropped. Nakeem Johnson had his hands on it and couldn't pull it in as DeVito tries to do what he did in the North Carolina game, come out of the bullpen and throw heat.
Now DeVito can spin it. A little early contact. The ball's in the fingertips. And just couldn't maintain possession of the football. But how about that? The confidence you have in your backup quarterback. He's been on the field before, a couple of ball games. Come out and let him fly.
Pressure from the Irish. DeVito putting it up top for Custis. Incomplete. He saw what was coming. Knew there was no safety back there, but couldn't get it to the deep receiver, Jamal Custis. It's 4th and 6 for Syracuse at the 42-yard line.
I love the throw he just made. He's got two guys coming at him. He backpedals it by a fraction of a second at a time, lays it out softly, and hopes his receiver can run under it. That's a nice little touch. Just missed it with Custis.
And now he will quick kick it to try to pin the Irish deep. And they will do just that as it will die just inside the 5. Takes a shot downfield for Claypool. Chase Claypool got it. Adjusted to the ball. Just shy of midfield. 32 on the game. First down, Notre Dame.
Claypool takes off. He gets his head around and sees the ball early. Be able to adjust to it, spin his hips. The key there was that he caught sight of the ball early on and was able to react.
Officially, it'll mark him in midfield, so a gain of 33. As Notre Dame backed off its own 5, now to midfield. Book looking for more, and he's got it with Mack. The tight end inside the 20, inside the 10. First and goal, Notre Dame. Just like that, 2 big plays for the Irish.
Look how comfortable Book is in the pocket. Watch him step up underneath, get that vision, and just an accurate throw. Great route by Mack, but just poise in the pocket.
And they sprint down to get ready to go quick from the 3. It is Jones, and he is stopped. And he'll lose a yard, as a matter of fact, as again it was Guthrie, who we've called 4 times in this opening quarter, leading the parade.
The key to his accuracy throwing the ball,
yes,
is his decisiveness in his decision. He knew where he had his matchup. He knew where he was going with the ball. He just put himself in a position to be able to see it and make the throw.
Doug, he's 11 of 14 here to start the game. 14 throws for 169 yards. It's a lot of catch and run, too. He gives guys chances to make big plays. They throw the lob here. Book will run it inside instead. Gain 2 yards, 2 tough yards that time with Jones. So it'll be 3rd and goal for the Irish. And one of those important early plays, the difference between 7 and 3.
Couple extra tight ends on the field. Claypool single receiver.
Notre Dame brings 89 Brock Wright in. Brian Kelly uses him as a fullback. Book scans underneath. It's almost intercepted off the hands of Williams. Shaheem Cullen almost had a game-changing play. And the Syracuse defense gets the Irish out of the end zone, and a field goal attempt coming for Yoon.
This is a little quick. Williams couldn't get his head around in time. Ball's a little early. I'll tell you, if you pick that one off, you've got a lot of green grass.
Yoon already has 1 field goal. This one would be 56, 1 shy of equaling the all-time Notre Dame record, 30-yarder. Operation clear that time, and he knocks it into the home plate end of Yankee Stadium. Irish have scored in their last 3 drives, 2 of them, though, field goals. 13-0 to score. 13-0 Notre Dame. Justin Yoon has been busy in this opening quarter. He'll kick it, and a fair catch signaled by Riley. So DeVito hands on 1st down to run about 6 yards with Mo Neal as we get to the final minute, Doug, of this opening quarter.
You know, Dungey's rushed for really over 800 yards this year if you don't count the sacks. And he's carried the ball so much and been so durable this year. Like you said, that wasn't the biggest hit in the world for him.
Neal up the middle, powering inside, gain of nearly 10 for the Orange. DeVito is not the running threat Dungey is. So they'll have to do it more traditionally on the ground. Final half minute, third straight carry for Neal. Nice bounce to the outside, chased by Coney. And the speed of the running back takes it to the 47-yard line. The junior from Gastonia, North Carolina. Like the Irish lead running back, comes off a career game as well. Had 159 as they beat Louisville last week in the Dome.
Well, they're finding something with spreading them out and running straight ahead. They've had some work between Service and Adams, the right guard and center, and hit that gap twice in a row there. He had to bounce it.
Likely the final play of this quarter, and the Irish know what you know and what everybody knew, so they shut that baby down and end a very dominant Notre Dame first quarter. After one at Yankee Stadium, the Bronx, Notre Dame 13, Syracuse nothing. We're back with more after these messages from your local station. Glad you're with us on this special Saturday. You're watching Notre Dame football on NBC. At the Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, Mike Tirico, Doug Flutie, Catherine Tappan, Terry McCauley, our rules analysts, Liam McHugh, Chris Sims with us for the pregame and the halftime. 3-12, DeVito. Tillery was being held. That pass is intercepted. On the deflection. Gilman's got it again. Alohi Gilman inbounds down the sideline. Inside the 20. Inside the 10. First and goal for the Irish at the 9. 2 picks in the half for Gilman. That one off the hands of the freshman receiver Harris.
I'm getting ready to say what a great throw by DeVito. Right on the numbers. 2 consecutive throws. Beautiful ball. And Gilman rips it out, knocks it out, finds the ball, and then gets a convoy down the right side. Just a tremendous play, staying after it.
And terrific blocking, like you said, downfield. Sean Riley tried to pull it away from him, but could not.
Just never conceding that it's a reception, staying after the ball.
Dexter Williams, the back. First and goal for Book. Inside handoff, walk-in, touchdown, Notre Dame. Jafar Armstrong. His 7th touchdown of the season.
Little toss fake out to the left, misdirection. Leon Eichenberg is pulling from left to right and really has to find somebody to try to block. It's just nobody home. Deception, misdirection.
We haven't seen a lot of 2 backs in the backfield for the Irish this year. And they do it. It's a terrific play design and play call by Chip Long. Yoon again knocks another one through. And Notre Dame takes advantage of their dominant play by punching that one in. The interception for Gilman. That safety play has been a big difference in this Notre Dame season. And the payoff right away with Armstrong. Number 3, up 20-0 at Yankee Stadium. Brian Kelly hit the reset button a couple of years ago, brought in new coordinators. On the offensive side was Chip Long, who was at Memphis. Boy, he has really brought a very creative offense to the Irish, and we have seen it on display throughout this season. Sean Riley with the kickoff return for the Orange. He'll take it to the 30-yard line. Well, Tommy DeVito was in that Elite 11, one of the top pro-style quarterbacks coming out, certainly attracted to Syracuse with the regional proximity in New Jersey and the Dino Babers pass-happy offense. That's to midfield and a complete. Spun out of bounds is Sean Riley by Julian Love, and Syracuse takes timeout.
Timeout. Syracuse, their 2nd of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Yankee Stadium, where so much of Notre Dame's football history has been written, not in this one, the old stadium across the street, but the 27 championships, the retired numbers, the 2 tradition-rich sports entities meeting here today. Drew Tranquil comes up with a sack of DeVito back at the 46-yard line. And that is 2.5 sacks for Tranquil on the season. Syracuse takes a timeout.
Timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
You can see some of the monuments we were talking about here at the stadium and the walk through Monument Park.
I was there. I got my picture with Babe Ruth.
Walked you through, got you over to the Babe Ruth statue, the Babe Ruth monument to take your picture there. 3rd and 9 for DeVito. In trouble and just gets rid of it as he was about to get sacked. Dalen Hayes coming off the edge for Notre Dame led the charge. Julian Okwara, Jerry Tiller, they were all there.
Okwara coming off the edge on Conway, gets a hand to the face but fights through it. It's getting low and ducking under that shoulder. Ends up with hands to the face, could have been called, but he still gets there anyway.
Been a difference maker this year. The front four of the Irish, they've been able to get pressure with 4, cover with 7, and hugely impact opposing offenses all year. So Hofrichter will kick it to the sideline, and it's out of bounds at the 19-yard line, a punt of 35 yards. Irish comfortable here. They will check out and get to the locker room. Syracuse held scoreless in a half for the first time this year. And Notre Dame now 6 quarters away from an undefeated season and a terrific opportunity to be part of the college football playoff. All the offensive attention with 305 yards when they shut that unit down. Syracuse averages 44 a game. They get nothing in the half. The State Farm halftime report with Liam and Chris coming up after these messages. And a word from your local NBC station. For the goal of championship, and this is a place where champions have been crowned and won over the years, back at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Set for the 3rd quarter, Notre Dame 20, Syracuse nothing. Let's check our quarterback comparison, brought to you by Volkswagen. Get a look at the numbers so far, and it's not Eric Dungey, but Tommy DeVito, an upper body injury for Dungey in the first half. So DeVito's come in, 2 interceptions there. One was not his fault. Ian Book has been as good as advertised, and Doug, for everything we've said about Notre Dame and the test and all that other stuff, they've got to feel great about that first half.
Oh, they really do. They should have a lot more points on the board. They're probably frustrated at that, but they dominated. Offense, defense created turnovers. Ian Book throwing the football exceptional. Syracuse has to find a way to get their offense cranked up.
How do they do that?
I think DeVito's going to have to go up the field a little bit and hit the middle of the field because Notre Dame is rolling the corners up and taking away the easy throws for him. So you're going to have to hold the ball a little bit, so they got to hold up in protection and hit those mid-range throws.
I'm thinking of the Clemson game. Syracuse was effective on offense. They did a good job. They scored 23 in that one. It's been a terrific performance by Clark Lee's defense. Now, Syracuse loses its quarterback, so, of course, there's an asterisk there. But I've watched Syracuse's offense pretty much every game for the last 3 years since Dino Babers. They always move the ball. This Notre Dame defense deserves its place among the top in college football. We don't talk about it much, but I'm more impressed with them every week I see them.
In Syracuse, their slot backs are shifty and fast. Their outside guys are big and have length to them, can go up and get the ball. So it's been shut down by the secondary and good pass rush.
Justin Yoon kicked it. Sean Riley returns it for the Orange. 2 terrific moves to get past the 24 and out of bounds right around the 25. Let's go down to the field at Yankee Stadium. Here's Catherine Tappan.
Well, Mike, Brian Kelly wasn't too disappointed in his team's performance in that first half. He said we were sloppy. We had a lot of uncharacteristic penalties, some false starts, took us out of scoring opportunities, but we need to stay confident. I think we played pretty well. On Tommy DeVito changing anything for the Irish, he said, well, they're going to throw the ball a lot more. We need to be prepared. Dino Babers had no update on Eric Dungey, said we'll have to wait and see, and he goes, we got to get some more doggone points. We need to get points, and we're going to do it by going nice and slow against this team, Mike.
He's not used to being shut out in a half, as we said earlier. Thanks, Tap. It's 40 degrees as the sun has gone down here in the South Bronx on this cool night, run by Mo Neal for 3 yards. Catherine is a New Yorker, and as a native New Yorker growing up, I can tell you this city was in complete shutdown mode when they got a few inches of snow on Thursday. It was crazy, and it was a big effort to try to get this field playable, and the field has held up. so far. Much better. You see all the remnants of that surprise November snowstorm. Neal puts the shoulder down to the 31-yard line. He'll bring up 3rd and 5. Tavon Coney on the tackle.
Well, they have come out and tried to establish the run. Take it slow might mean line up, see your assignment, know what you're doing. We're missing too many assignments going fast. So let's go some 2 back and help out our offensive line.
Big Chris Elmore, 36, who's listed at 282 pounds. He's the hair coming out of the back of the helmet. Thanks, Flutes. He is a unique player on this team, plays a fullback role. Usually where he goes, the ball goes. And there he goes, and there the ball goes, and the Irish know that too. And they're able to stop Syracuse with Neal on that 3rd down run. Asmar Bilal, who has moved into that rover position this year on the tackle. And it'll bring up 4th down, and that's exactly what Syracuse didn't need and Notre Dame wanted. 3 and out to start.
Well, they really wanted to come out, establish the run there, and try to hammer the football a little bit and get physical and at least create a little attitude. 3 and out.
Sterling Hofrichter leads the ACC in 50-plus yard punts. High snap, he pulled it down, did a nice job. And he gets off a 38-yarder. Fink from the 30 and on the run. Will do a nice job to pick through the traffic. Beautiful return. 16 on the take back. Fink brings it out to give the Irish good field position at the 46-yard line. On 1st down, here is Book with the keep, and Ian Book runs it to the outside and gets about 8 yards. Ball is ripped out of his hands, but I believe it was out of bounds first. Trill Williams went right for the ball, and he got it. Looked like Book may have been on the white when it all happened. Let's see.
Right at the end of the run.
Book wasn't.
He's in bounds. What do you think?
Let's bring in Terry McCauley, our official on duty. Terry, would you look at that?
Well, I would have think we would have stopped that one. It looked like he had the football in bounds before he went out of bounds. The should have been a fumble by the recovery by the defense.
Well, it was a fumble or rather a turnover.
Right there, he's got possession.
No, that's defense. He sure does.
15-yard.
And on the other play, Williams was called for a face mask as he tackled Fink for a 1st down. It's interesting, Terry. I really don't understand why in this world where you have replay, don't you at least stop it to look at it in that case? If we asked about it, they don't wait for us. They can do it on their own. Here is the face mask on Fink. I didn't see if you saw the head turn. I don't know if he had the grab or not. 1st and 10 for the Irish. It is Williams trying to pick through the traffic inside with no gain.
Looked like old single wing stuff. People going misdirection, fake pitch. Chip Long getting creative. That's similar to what they scored a touchdown on the misdirection down by the goal line.
A lot of offensive inventory here, heading towards the home plate end of Yankee Stadium. On 2nd and 10, Williams. A good thing Book decided to give it because Alton Robinson, I beg your pardon, was ready and waiting. Out of Converse, Texas, spent a year at Northeast Oklahoma A&M and has been good at Syracuse his first couple of seasons.
Yeah, Robinson coming off the edge. Book at the last second was thinking maybe I'll take it back up, but just hold on to the ball. Don't end up in a turnover. Nice play, hat off to Robinson. You made the play. Protect the football.
That would be the definition of the unblocked end. And turn him loose and read him.
He got there so quick you couldn't make the decision. You're supposed to go opposite whatever he does. Didn't have a chance.
3rd and 12 for the Irish from the 16. Book throws underneath and complete, and the holding flag is thrown. They missed it the first time. They got it the second time. Frederick on the tackle for
Number
Syracuse.
78, offense. The penalties declined. 4th down.
And it's going to give Justin Yoon a chance again.
That right guard here. I thought he flushed out of the pocket a little early here. He could have held maybe one of the underneath crossers. Instead, he felt like he got the perimeter and bounces outside. Still, the holding penalty, still the completion were both short of 1st down field goal situation.
And a chance for a little bit of Notre Dame history here as Justin Yoon goes for his 3rd field goal It would tie Kyle Brins's record of 57 field goals made. Spotted the 20, kick called 29 yards. It is high, it is far, it is good. We got to do that at Yankee Stadium, right, for John Sterling? I've been sitting on that for 11 months. Thank you, John. 57. Justin Yoon, just inside. And the Irish lead, 23-0. Gonna have some fun, right? November 9, 1946, that original college football game of the century. Army and Notre Dame playing a very famous scoreless tie in the old stadium. Johnny Lujack, the much discussed tackle of Doc Blanchard, the stars of their era. The connection of Notre Dame football and New York City, playing Army here for the better part of 2 decades every single year, and that really heightened the national profile of Notre Dame, which the Shamrock Series that the Irish play still continues to do by taking Notre Dame football all across the country.
And as you've said, they make a trip to the West Coast at the end of every season to have a national presence in recruiting, and it's really worked out for them. I know that Brian Kelly as a coach and as a player, with all the season riding on the line, I'd really like to have a home game, but this is a phenomenal atmosphere.
Again, this is Notre Dame's home game, moved here by the Irish as part of the Shamrock Series. Another return by Riley, hit and turned down. They had no playmaking back there last year, a bunch this year. And they are loading up to stop the run as Drew Tranquil and Tavon Coney limit Mo Neal. It was one of my favorite stories of the year. We heard it the very first week of the season when we were in South Bend. Clark Lee, the defensive coordinator, he's got young kids. He and his wife have 3 young kids, and he's at preschool. And as Clark described, he gave such great tapestry to the story and the anecdote. He said, it just smells like a preschool lunchroom and just that kind of setting as he's waiting. And then he gets the call, the opportunity to interview to replace Mike Elko. As DeVito is sacked, Drew Tranquil is going to get it as the pressure forced it up the middle. Catherine?
Well, Mike, along those lines, I asked Clark Lee if he's had much time to reflect this season on what he's achieved, but he told me it's been fun hearing from the people that he's admired throughout his career. His former strength coach at Georgia Tech, Rick Neuheisel, he prides himself on those relationships and the ones that he has with his players. He said when he was at Vanderbilt as a player, he was a role player and has stayed committed to speaking that narrative as he tries to help this Irish team remain undefeated, Mike.
Neuheisel, one of the first head coaches, he was around when he got his opportunity, UCLA. Of course, you talked about the strength coaches. Everyone's been a part of his life over the year. And he'll hear from more of them as this season goes on. And his front 4 continues to bring the heat. The combination of Okwara and Kareem sack DeVito.
Well, Okwara's coming off the left edge, but watch them drop out as well. It's a zone blitz type situation where you're bringing pressure from the edges, and then the inside guys are dropping off, and DeVito is very unsure what he's seeing, and he's getting pressure right away.
And Cody Conway is not alone in the tackles who have seen Okwara blow by him this season. Okwara, if he gets the full credit there, that would be his 6th sack of the year. A Frichter's kick, fair caught by Fink right around midfield. Halfway through this 3rd quarter, Yankee Stadium and Notre Dame looking like number 3. Spectacular look at Lower Manhattan as evening descends here in the Bronx. Trying to get to that 2nd level here on the run was Williams, and he is denied up front. Chris Slayton, McKinley Williams, excuse me, was the first guy to get there.
Seems like Syracuse's defensive front is picking up their intensity a little bit these last couple of drives. As far as the inside part of the play, they're getting a little help with a couple of blitzes being called, but getting after it a little better.
NASCAR Championship, NFC North lead. Busy day tomorrow as that pass is incomplete. And then Matt Ryan against the smoking hot Saints on Thanksgiving night. So a lot of good stuff ahead over the next
No foul for intentional grounding. There was a
6
receiver in the
days.
area.
We may just, might as well let the referee do play-by-play. His mic's open after every play. There's an interception before he's telling us it's a pick. I mean, really, enough. 3rd and 7 coming up. Book is flush, keeps it alive. He's so good at that. He fires on the run to Boykin, who fights forward, and 3 Syracuse players keep him from the first down. Let's see what Brian Kelly will do on 4th down here. Up 23.
This Kramer right here getting beat as they're pushing through. But look at the feet. Look at the footwork. Stop, step up, move forward. And he keeps his eyes up the field.
How hard is that?
You feel the rush, but you got to keep your eyes up the field. I don't know. It's a natural thing for some guys, but a lot of guys will drop their eye level and start looking at the 4th down play.
4th and 1. They're going to throw it. Syracuse covered the tight ends. Book's second play complete to Cole Kmet for the first down. Again, Doug, just the nuanced stuff. The play was taken away. He kept it alive and made the right play to keep the drive going.
It's not there initially, drifts around, feels it, keeping the eyes up the field. Like I said, not putting him down on the rush and just turning into a runner. Sees the field, puts the ball in the money. 4th down conversion.
From the 12-yard line. To the left was Jones. Syracuse stringing that one out. It's so funny, Doug, with Ian Book. You think back, and we talked to Ian about this earlier this week. We went to the spring game, the blue gold game in 2017. He threw it really well. There was a lot of attention on Brandon Wimbush and would they find a quarterback. And Brian Kelly said, look, at least we know we've got a number 2 in Book. He opened everybody's eyes that day. And from that day forward, Ian Book knew that he could be the quarterback at Notre Dame. Jones inside run here. Keeps it alive, didn't go down. He'll gain 2 yards. 3rd down coming up.
And knowing it for yourself is an important, pivotal point in your career. When you gain that confidence, when you stepped out on the field, the first time I ever stepped on a field was at Penn State, and I thought I did not belong.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, you complete your first 5 passes, and it's like, I can play this game. I can play at this level. And that's what happened in that spring game for Ian Book. He realized, I can do this, and I can do this well, and I belong here. And, you know, he was patient, kept learning, and when he got his opportunity, took advantage of it.
3rd and 8. Another blitz coming. Book fires in the middle, complete for the touchdown. Chase Claypool.
And this is tight coverage. Claypool coming underneath and just fighting off. Ball's right on the chest, and it has to be on the chest to make this play down by the goal line. You do not want to be extended into the safety making a hit or having the DB collision. Good throw and catch.
2nd touchdown pass of the game for Book. 4th of the season for Claypool, who has come on gangbusters here in the 2nd half of the season. Tough job getting that snap down, and that's why the kick is no good. That's the 2nd snap issue we've had of the game. And Nolan Henry couldn't get it in place in time for you to knock it through. Chase Claypool has had a fabulous 2nd half of the season. Touchdown number 4 of the year puts the Irish up 29-0. Brian Kelly in conversation with that offensive line. We're very pleased with this. This is a very tough stretch for the Irish. A lot of games on the road, a lot of travel, and most of the mission has been accomplished to this point. Short kickoff taken by Riley. And Sean Riley's out to the 33 for the Orange with 3:27 left here in the 3rd.
Pass rush.
This is Syracuse offense that usually is effective passing the ball. You've seen the numbers go by. They've only completed 5 passes the entire game. There's 6. It's going to go nowhere. It's in Julian Love's neighborhood. Well, this certainly impacted the game. It wasn't a great start for Eric Dungey. But then a couple of drives in the 3rd drive for the Orange after a punt and interception and a run here. It doesn't look like anything obvious there, but just a pain in his back, and he went down right away. And he is very tough. We've seen him come back multiple times during his career. Was helped to the locker room. Have not seen him since. Was described as an upper body injury. Dungey out, DeVito in. And O'Neal with the carry. Not much there, as Notre Dame is just sitting on all of the runs here for the Orange.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
Through 3 at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Notre Dame 29, Syracuse nothing. Back for the 4th quarter after these messages from your local station. You're watching Notre Dame football on NBC. Off we go to the fourth quarter here at Yankee Stadium. Notre Dame dominant over Syracuse, have held the Orange to 9 plays and -8 yards in this half. There's a pass complete and a first down as Taj Harris gets
a
out
real
of bounds.
pass complete, right? Is what you're saying. Yeah.
At the 40-yard line. Yeah, Doug, it's so funny. If you looked at the November schedule, and we did, we look at the Notre Dame schedule every year. You sit there and look at November and go, wow, they're going to play 2 ranked teams in November. They're going to be Florida State and USC. Right up the middle here by Mo Neal. There's no way on the planet it's going to be Northwestern and Syracuse. I mean, revenge of the journalism schools there. Northwestern and Syracuse end up the ranked teams when they play Notre Dame, and not Southern California and Florida State. Never saw it coming. DeVito shot downfield a little bit too far for the fellow freshman Taj Harris.
Well, there's no doubt in what you're saying, and the turnaround, what we touched on earlier, to play Syracuse, a ranked team number 12, on a neutral site game instead of a home game when everything was on the line, and then at the end of the year go to USC that normally would be ranked and have all the athletes they have. It's a scary, daunting end of the season.
3rd and 1. Orange are trying to run for the first down with Neal, and they will to the 43-yard line. And again, as you said, this is a game that's technically a Notre Dame home game. The Irish chose to move to Yankee Stadium, mostly their fans. But when you look at this, you do know it was played not in South Bend. Syracuse trying to avoid a shutout. Last time that happened at Clemson a couple of years ago.
It's that spread stack look wide. Try to, there you go. Notre Dame shifted back into the front. Now they can't run the ball. Now they got to go back to the pass.
That's so fun. One adjustment to the next adjustment.
And now they adjust it back out.
DeVito ends up with the run, and Notre Dame wins the chess match. And speaking of chess, when we're talking about Dino Babers about the offense, what he likes to do, and the speed of the offense, he said, do you play competitive chess? I was like, no, not against somebody who gives up that they're good at it. And his point was that chess match with speed, sometimes if you make that move really quick, you don't know what the counter is. And that has been some of the success in the Syracuse offense since Babers got there, but none of that today. Notre Dame has had checkmate right throughout. Tavon Coney on that sack.
Well, the blitz is coming off the edge. There's your extra rusher, but makes him step up through. Again, it's a 6-man rush. Coney wasn't even rushing on the play. He was just eyeing his back and steps up and ends up with a sack on the play.
Maybe we'll give it to Heinisch, who made the first contact before DeVito fell down.
Well, he deserves it. Because the other guy wasn't even coming. He's not even across the line of scrimmage.
It'd be great for Kurt Heinisch if he ends up getting 2 sacks on this afternoon. Defensive tackle from Pittsburgh.
So many multiple looks defensively.
And DeVito again has to bench him. Syracuse's offense has been completely flummoxed in the passing game.
There is no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside the tackle box and threw the ball beyond the line of scrimmage. It's 4th down.
With 11:04 left and the score 29-0.
Just every kind of pressure you could possibly bring, and a lot of the issues have come where they fake the pressure inside, bring it off the edge, and then drop out in the middle and overload, because it's a 5-man protection a lot of the times, and you bring 2 off each edge, they cannot pick it up.
Syracuse is going to run against the play clock here. They're trying to decide if they're going to go for it or not. At the 38, they say why not, needing to get to the 24-yard line to keep the drive going. More pressure. DeVito up top, shot is incomplete. Taj Harris had it, couldn't bring it in. However, there's a flag down back by DeVito.
Roughing the passer, number 53. Defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Colin Kareem had their shot at him. Taj Harris got a
no doubt
face mask
about it.
Full of grass.
Coming off the edge, unblocked, takes a couple extra steps and takes the hit anyway. Can't do it. And on the back end, Julian Love staying after the ball. After it appeared to be a reception at first, you're beat on the play, the ball's on the money, and you still rip it out for an incompletion.
And Notre Dame has been fabulous this year at challenging balls right at that reception moment. A sensational job done in the secondary. Todd Light, Terry Joseph, the coaches and the corners and the safeties. Neal bouncing, Gilman chasing. Beautiful open field tackle by the Irish junior safety from Hawaii.
Gilman coming from depth as a free safety reacting up. He's way back here. And it's nice vision to bounce outside by Mo Neal. And he's just closing downhill in a hurry. Makes a great open field tackle.
Syracuse often likes to try Jamal Custis, the receiver, down here. They're going to keep running the ball. 5-yard line to set up 3rd down. The Orange, as I mentioned, will play Boston College next Saturday at a noon Eastern start. Chestnut Hill. That game.
It's been a fun year for you and me.
We should have a little bit of a wager. I think the next meal is on the winner.
You got
that.
Our teams are actually playing pretty good football this year. I know Notre Dame's taking it to Syracuse.
Syracuse is not my team today, Doug. I'm fully neutral. 3rd and 4. Here is Strickland on the fake. Over the top for the tight end, Pierce. And Ravion Pierce couldn't bring it in. Pass incomplete. 4th and 4. One of the Irish players slowed to get up. In the interest of avoiding a shutout, Syracuse will try a field goal with Andre Schmidt, who's been phenomenal this year. 27 of 29. Off the upright and no good. The story of the day. And the Irish keep the shutout going. First miss from inside 40 by the freshman Schmidt. It is a Notre Dame day. The Irish have played that way. Didn't get the laces turned on the hold. Schmidt the rare miss. And the Irish remain up 29-0. Well, this is the 9th edition of the Shamrock Series that started with a trip to San Antonio in 2009. So put the Irish on the road again for home games away from South Bend. They have lost none of these games. And it goes back to a topic we discussed in the first half. Notre Dame has long tried to remain as an independent in this era of mega conferences. Its national profile. There was no game in 2017, as you see Jack Swarbrick, the athletic director at Notre Dame, on the field for a presentation earlier on. They've continued to try to keep the Notre Dame brand national as regionalization of college football has come around. Dexter Williams takes the handoff from Brandon Wimbush, the quarterback, and gains 12 yards there. Wimbush, who got the start last week against Florida State, played a couple of snaps as a running back, and now he's in there to close this one out as Ian Book's night is done.
You know, when Ian Book took over for Brandon Wimbush, he became the perfect teammate. He really did, and did everything right, said the right things, prepared, wanted to be involved. And for him to have the opportunity to start the game last week in a significant game really meant a lot to him and the team.
So the numbers from Book a little bit lower on the completion percentage, but a very strong effort here today. Ryan Guthrie, another tackle of Williams. Well, as you said before, for the coaches, the Shamrock Series, it's part of what they have to do with the brand of Notre Dame and extending it nationally. It's not the easiest thing for a coach to have to go on the road for a home game late in the season.
I mean, you look for every edge possible when you're getting ready for a game. You watch all the film you watch, you prepare, you find a weakness of a defense, whatever it might be. And then you worry about your kids being ready to play. And then you voluntarily give up a home game and move on the road. And you deal with the things that come along with the travel and everything else. So, you know, you're just looking for, you just want to win.
It is something that is essential in this era of mega conferences if Notre Dame wants to keep uniqueness and independence in not being in a league. Wimbush was down at the 41-yard line, yard shy of the first down. As Brian said to us when we were discussing it this week, that happens a level above me, the decisions on these things. But Notre Dame will not play a Shamrock Series game next year. All the scheduled home games planned for Notre Dame Stadium in South Bend, or Notre Dame, Indiana, to be more precise. Wimbush will keep it here, and he'll get the first down at the 45-yard line. Very familiar coach on the opposing sideline if all things stay the same next year. Bob Davie brings New Mexico in. The Virginia team with Bronco Mendenhall that battled in the conference. USC on the annual end of the trip will come in. We'll see where Virginia Tech is. The every-year battle with Navy and BC to close the schedule next year in South Bend. Would make 2 points here. One, if you've never been, plan. If you're a college football fan and have the means to do so, it's nothing like a game weekend in South Bend. And secondly, the Irish have a great chance to keep their undefeated streak at home going. Close winning 11 straight at home to end this year. Wimbush trying to get somebody set up to throw it. Instead, he will run it down the sideline, and Wimbush knocked out of bounds. That was set up to try to throw it. You weren't looking, so I'm taking off all the way to the 22-yard line.
This is what he brings to the game. I mean, he brings it out here on the read. He decides to pull it. All right, I don't have anywhere to run. Let's flip it out here to the wide receiver. He's not looking, make a block, and turns it into a big play. And he's probably mad at himself he didn't stay in bounds and go all the way.
Full admiration for the way Brandon Wimbush has handled the situation. 13-3. One of the reasons it was such a tough move to go to Ian Book was the popularity within the team of Wimbush, and his approach and attitude to it has kept it from being a fissure within this team this year. In this fourth quarter, no offside flag there, and that pass is incomplete. Alton Robinson got a quick jump there for the Orange.
Quick jump start around the edge. Didn't have a chance. Hainsey didn't have a chance. It's the arm hit, the ball deflected. Yeah, there's one bright spot. He's coming quick. I think he got a little jump start. He still could be onside. I mean, he left before the snap of the ball, but that doesn't necessarily mean he was offside.
Both Robinson and Coleman, the two defensive ends, both juniors on this Syracuse team. Williams on the move, smelling end zone, gonna get there. Touchdown Notre Dame. Dexter Williams, 2 on the day.
Check out your right guard, Tommy Kramer, pulling left, looking for work, turns back inside, seals it off. A great acceleration by Dexter Williams. He looked up to the replay board on his way.
There's no replay board at the other end. There's one out here in center field. Justin Yoon adds that extra point. One was missed earlier. Another productive point day for Yoon. Another touchdown for Dexter Williams. In total, 12. That's his first receiving touchdown of the season earlier. This rushing touchdown, number 11. Makes it 36-0. ND. To that. Kickoff return for the Orange. First down for DeVito. It doesn't matter who's in there. They're coming in and they're coming after him with the pressure and the sack. Dalen Hayes, who comes off his best game last week against Florida State.
Pressure comes through the middle, but then it's Hayes coming from the opposite side who gets the sack. They cannot handle him up front.
That is 6 sacks on the day for this Notre Dame defense. Inside run for Jarvian Howard, freshman for Syracuse, running back from Mississippi. Very good in short yardage for the Orange this season has gone on. Well, Dino Babers said at the beginning of the week, and I think he was playing a little coy, trying to take some of the pressure off of his team on this big stage for the first time as a ranked team. He said, hey, this one's house money. We get to the ACC, and it's a big game against Boston College, and from a bowl perspective, it certainly is. But a lesson learned for his team as they play one of what appeared to be the elite teams in college football and know where the standard is set and what they have to work to get to. Still been a great season for the Orange. They lost their starting quarterback in this one. DeVito finds a man breaking free, and Harris stays in bounds. So get the catch at the 35-yard line.
Boy, As DeVito rolled to the right and scrambled out, the secondary just stopped flat-footed. He's up top, and this is when he does a double move, and they lose track of him because of the quarterback movement. Just kept it in bounds enough.
Smoking back out to Taj Harris again, spun out at the 28-yard line. Paul Moala, who was injured on a kickoff in the first half, comes in and makes the play here. Harris will fill out. He'll get stronger. Looks like he's got the potential to be a good receiver, a true freshman who's a heck of a basketball player, too. Back in his high school days. He and DeVito have connected often here.
Just a phenomenal athlete. You know, you talk about a basketball player that's out there, and that's what this game's become. A lot of basketball on grass, short routes, catch the ball in space, making people miss. And they're young.
Yeah, Harris was also a quarterback during his high school days, and then moved to receiver for a bit. Final 2 minutes, Syracuse trying to avoid the shutout. Notre Dame trying to maintain the shutout. Vito pops it out to Riley to the 16-yard line. A minute 30 to go.
Riley can't be more than 150 pounds, and he lays it up in there.
He is listed at 5'8", 170.
I said hi to him before the game.
He's not? He's neither?
That's all right. The smaller, the better. Makes it a better story.
Dalen Hayes was shaken up and tried to run off the field. He couldn't. Catherine's down there. You found a familiar face to Irish fans.
I did indeed. Former Irish All-American Mike McGlinchey, currently with the 49ers, a first-round draft pick this past year. Mike, what do you make of this team right now and what they've been able to achieve so far this season?
You know, it's just been awesome to watch from afar. These guys prepared so hard in the offseason, and they're just the best group of guys led by a great group of coaches, and just so pumped for all my friends that are still here at ND, you know, crushing it, and being 10-0 this late in the season, so impressive.
There was so much attention coming into the season on the left side of the line. How were they going to replace you and Quentin Nelson? What do you think about the performance they've had so far?
I think they've been doing great. You know, I think they've had a lot of great games on the ground, moving people out of the way and keeping Ian upright. They've Liam Eichenberg and Aaron Banks have stepped in there and done an awesome job, and so proud of them because I know how hard they worked for the three years that they were there when I was at school, and you know, just two great guys that are playing their asses off.
All right, thanks so much, Mike. You'll be happy to know they keep the pizza tradition going on Thursday nights too, Mike.
It was an offensive line tradition. Thank you, Catherine Howard, with the carry there for Syracuse. McGlinchey, the 9th overall pick, Quentin Nelson, the 6th pick for the Colts, both starting and playing well. Final minute 5 of this one, as DeVito has first and goal, and the Orange looking over to the sideline, see if they can find a play to get in for the touchdown. DeVito will take a few end zone shots here. That one's a Doug Flutie ball.
Absolutely, that's a point.
So Flutie, who is the biggest kid on the planet, he'll pick up a football and they'll start throwing wherever we are, usually in South Bend, and then invariably we'll try to hit the goalpost. You must have won more money off of more of the quarterbacks that you were with hitting the goalpost better than anyone.
We had some nice competition. Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees, myself. It's fun.
Second down, Howard runs inside, 42 seconds left. We were driving over, or maybe we was driving back last night. We talked about you, Rivers, and Brees were all in the same quarterback room in San Diego early in Phillip's career. And the three of you have something like 103 miles of total yards in your careers. It's just nuts. See if the Orange can get in. 2 plays to do it, or the Irish get the shutout. DeVito, back shoulder, no. Incomplete. Cameron Jordan, redshirt freshman from Long Island, the intended receiver. That Notre Dame home crowd here.
Going for the field goal to get the goose egg off. Now,
that is why they are booing. Clark leading the defensive coordinator. I did my job. They didn't score. Very rare in a 36-0 game to hear the fans getting on the kicker. Andre Schmidt will try to hit it to avoid the shutout. And he just made it on top of all that. 36-3. You know, Doug, maybe they were doing it so the kicker had confidence when he went out for his next kick, so he didn't end on a miss.
There you go.
Probably not.
No.
Well,
They wanted points. They wanted points.
Speaking of upset fans, the Irish come to New York and get the job done against the Orange with a dominating performance for Brian Kelly's team. Nice back and forth from both, and I'm sure Brian Kelly's asking about Eric Dungey, the Syracuse quarterback, hurt in that first quarter. And we'll see if Syracuse gets him back from BC next week. But Ian Book's return was just fine. 293 and 2 touchdowns as we go down one last time this year to Catherine.
Coach, your defense with a near shutout performance against a top 10 offense and number 12 ranked Syracuse. What did you learn about your team in this win today?
They wanted to play well today. They prepared very well all week. I thought our defensive game plan was outstanding. They were really difficult to defend, and they did a great job up until a field goal at the very end with our young guys out there. Really proud of our defense. We weren't perfect today on offense, but still got 36 points on the board, and got a lot of things to clean up as we get ready for USC.
What do you need to do in that USC game to keep this season perfect?
Well, we've got to be cleaner. We weren't very good in the red zone. Had to kick field goals instead of touchdowns. Too many false start penalties. So offensively, we can clean those things up. Defensively, keep playing. We're playing really, really well. I mean, our last 3-4 games defensively have been as good as we played all year. So we've got great momentum defensively. Offensively, we're scoring a lot of points. We just got to clean it up. Playing really good football.
Well, I know you're a Red Sox fan, but how did you like your Yankees experience here in the Shamrock Series?
The field was great. The environment was electric. Great to be part of this Shamrock Series again, and the Yankees were great hosts, and our guys played very well, so it was good.
Coach, thanks so much. Best luck next week.
Thanks, Catherine.
Mike?
Catherine, thank you. This Notre Dame defense has gotten the job done. 73 points allowed over the last 5 games. Here, Brian Kelly's full press conference is there for you on NBCSports.com. Good one tomorrow night. The NFC North battle on the line at Soldier Field. The Vikings and the Bears will see you for football night at 7 Eastern. The news is next. For many of you around the country, Saturday Night Live tonight, Steve Carell with a musical guest, LMA. Thanks to our entire team, for Liam McHugh, Chris Sims, Terry McCauley, Catherine Tappan, and the Heisman Trophy winner, Doug Fluke. Mike Tirico, thank you for watching Notre Dame football on NBC.